Hello, everyone. I am Andrew Rogers, the host of the 2 Minute Penalty on 88.7 The River and former host and creator of TST Total Sports Talk YouTube channel. Thank you very much for joining me for a very special presentation of the 2019 WOAA Senior AA Men's League Playoff Preview Show. The plan here is to do my best to tee up for you what has been a long-awaited start to the AA playoffs, which everyone tuning in is well aware of by now. What it is I'm speaking about, since that's the case for most of you, I'm not going to revisit it during this time, and instead focus on the time at hand, and that is the beginning of the WOAA Senior AA Men's League Playoffs. This year's edition features the top 8 in the standings, and the matchups have been determined. A look at the standings has defending champion the last 3 seasons, the Clinton Radars, in the number 1 spot. That is followed up by the number 2 seed Ripley Wolves, finishing in 3rd the Durham Thundercats, and in 4th the Saugeen Shores Winterhawks, playing out of Porogon. The top 4 teams have home ice advantage in the opening round of the playoffs, finishing number 5 the Minto 81s, playing out of Palmerston. In the number 6 spot we have the Petrolia Squires. Number 7 is the Huron East Centenaires out of Seaforth, and lastly the number 8 Tavistock Royals. Our preview show will include a tail of the tape and a look at the schedule for each series as we start with the first matchup, the top-seeded Clinton Radars against the number 8 seed Tavistock Royals. The top-seeded Clinton Radars are going to be a tough team to beat, and the Tavistock Royals have their hands full in this matchup. Clinton putting together an impressive 21-1 record, good for 41 points on this season, outscoring their opponents 171-61. It showed when it came to the overall scoring leaders, as 6 of their forwards ended up in the top 10 in scoring. Tavistock goaltender Mike Ross has his hands full and will need to be huge to give his team a chance at the upset. This series gets underway Friday, February the 8th at 8:30 in Clinton. Our second series that we want to look at features the number 2 seed Ripley Wolves and the number 7 seed Huron East Centenaires, who play out of Seaforth. Ripley forward Garrett Muirs will be tough for the Cents to contend with, as he led the Wolves in scoring, putting up an impressive 44 points in 21 games, as the Wolves march to a 19-2-1 record on the season. Huron East will look to get production from proven sniper of their own, as his numbers would indicate, as Rob Van Weinsberg scored 27 goals, adding 18 assists to pace all Cents scores with 45 points. This series should be closely contested, as the series gets underway this evening from Seaforth, as games 2 and 3 will then take place in Kincardine at the Davidson Center and then in Ripley respectively. Tonight, as mentioned, game 1 in Seaforth is an 8:30 start. Our next matchup is a 3 versus 6, and it features last year's runner-up to the AA championship, the Durham Thundercats, going up against last year's A champion, the Petrolia Squires. Durham comes into the series with a lot of top-end talent, having amassed 145 goals scored on the season. They are led by captain defenseman Kyler Nixon, who leads all Cats scorers with 45 points on the season. Petrolia will look at Paul Thompson, Corey Pauley, and Ryan Frazier to continue to produce in the playoffs as they have done in the regular season. This series will get underway tonight in Durham. It's an 8:30 start time. Before it shifts to Petrolia Sunday at 7 for Game 2. Only the first 6 games have been announced to this point in the series, so keep updated by following the Thundercats and the Squires on their social media platforms for Game 7 date and time. Our fourth and final series features the number 4 seed Saugeen Shores Winterhawks playing out of Porogon, going up against the 5 seed Minto 81s playing out of Palmerston. Minto 81s, formerly named Mapleton Minto 81s, are returning to the league after a 1-year absence. Almost missed the AA playoffs completely, as they were docked for 7 points, but after winning their appeal, moved back into the 5 spot and earned themselves a matchup with what will be a tough Winterhawks squad. They are led by Miles McLean, who had himself a terrific second year with the Hawks, leading them in scoring for a second consecutive season. He put up 18 goals and 11 assists, good for 29 points. Minto will lean heavily on Adam Kowalik, who was extremely impressive during the regular season as well. He put up 17 goals along with 19 assists, good for 36 points, tops amongst all 81's players. This series will be back and forth and should go all the way to the wire, I would expect. The series gets underway from the Plex in Porogon tonight at 8:30 before it shifts back to Palmerston for Game 2 Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. These playoffs will feature a lot of heavy hitters and should be extremely entertaining to watch, as the WOA Senior AA Men's League has always been. Having been to a number of games myself, I have always found it to be really good hockey, extremely competitive and fast-paced, and a really enjoyable viewing experience. If you haven't gotten to a WOA Senior AA game before, you are truly missing out, and I do encourage that you try and get out to one. With that being playoff time, it will only make things that much better for you, the viewer. The 2019 WOA Senior AA Men's League playoffs are finally upon us. Here we go. This has been a presentation of the WOAA Senior AA Men's League Playoff Preview Show in association with the 2-Minute Penalty, hosted by myself on 88.7 The River out of Mount Forest. You can hear the 2-Minute Penalty weekdays at 8:30, 12:30, and 4:30 by listening live on your radio at 88.7 on the FM dial, and then the free Radio Player Canada app on your computer or mobile device, as well as on all of my social media platforms. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, if you want to stay out of the penalty box, keep your stick on the ice.